And there was a moment where I was playing defense against Cade, and he went to the hole, and I got elbowed in the face, like the first possession.
Flagrant elbow.
That was, a welcome to NBA moment.
What's up, Piston fans? It's your boy Flagrant Elbow back with another one. Today we're going to discuss a serious situation with one of our players. The one player that you love to hate, and the one player that everybody that hates him suffers a whiplash against from those that love him. Killian Hayes, the elephant in the room. We're going to talk about this. Mike Curtis put out an article and talking about the Pistons, Detroit Pistons playing with a full roster for the first time this season. But also in that same article, once again, it's Mike Curtis of the Detroit News. He also had a topic on Hayes' early season struggles and some important comments from Dwayne Casey that we're going to touch on. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get ready to get into the video. But first, I want to thank everybody for the subscribers. Thank all of you guys for your support, all of you guys for your comment. In the comments, let me know how you feel about Killian Hayes, especially about what Dwayne Casey has to say about him and where he may be headed. But also, let me know how you feel about that. And remember to keep the comments respectful. Anything that's not respectful will be removed. So anyway, since you understand that, we can go ahead and move forward with the Detroit Pistons content in this video, talking about a player that you love to hate. Don't forget, too, to check out the merch in the description. I will receive a commission from anything purchased through that. Thank you again for all subscribers. Let's get into the meat and the potatoes of this video. In this video, we're going to talk about the player that you love to hate, the elephant in the room, the player on the Detroit Pistons roster that people that love him will kill you about, Killian Hayes. Here are his numbers that he's averaging right now. 2.7 points, 2.1 rebounds, 3.1 assists on shooting splits of 18.2 from the field. Yeah, I said that. From the three-point line, this guy is shooting 16.7%. We knew he's not a three-point shooter, so that's okay. That's horrible, but I'm not going to dig into that too much. 80% from the free throw line. What do we do with Killian Hayes? What do we do with Killian? Everybody loves Killian Hayes. From what I've seen on Twitter, some people hate Killian Hayes, even in France. They said he had a horrible, nasty attitude. He even told one teacher, or teacher was getting on him in one of the classrooms or whatever. He told the teacher, I make more money than you. So he's got from what they say, I don't know for sure, so I don't want to slander this guy. But his attitude is bad from what's being posted and what they say, even in his hometown. And also I heard that a lot of French players were getting on him about his poor play here in the NBA, especially as of late. But the numbers don't lie. He's averaging 2.7 points, 2.1 rebounds, 3.1 assists. He can pass the ball, so he's averaging 3.1 assists on shooting splits of 18.2% from the field, 16.7% from three-point line, and 80% from free throw line. So he's not shooting bad from the free throw line, but 2.7 points, that's not going to cut it in the NBA. Unless you're a lockdown defender, you can't get by or make it in the NBA and be successful averaging 2.7 points, especially when you compare that with the minutes you're playing. In this article by Mike Curtis, Casey was asked if there was consideration for Hayes to go down to the G League, spend some time with the crews in order to build his confidence. Casey said that's why it's here. That's why Gores has invested in the G League. And I agree with that. Use the G League to help build up your players. But how much building up do we have to do with this guy? 3 years in the league? For those who want to argue, he didn't play this many games, that many games. That's fine. That's fine. But what do we do? Give the guy 4 or 5 years to prove himself? We don't have too many other choices right now. So that's the one thing that hurts the Detroit Pistons. And his defense is stellar on a team whose defense isn't so much stellar. So it's a major decision as far as, hey, people don't want to get rid of Killian, but he showed so much promise in preseason. Seemed as if he was working on his confidence. And I remember the last 2-3 seasons you would watch Killian, and you could tell it was a confidence issue with him. If he missed a couple shots, missed some layups, did something stupid, his head would drop down. And his whole game would suffer because of that. One thing about the NBA, from what I've seen, players, you cannot take one game, one play, and let that affect the rest of your game. If your shot's not falling, do something else. If your shot's not falling, do something else to be effective. So I just don't know what else to do with Killian Hayes other than get rid of him. But for right now, like I said, defensively, he's doing his thing, but the stats don't add up. So anyway, when asked about sending him to the G League, Casey was pretty much trying to keep it $150 with him. It's not a bad idea, so to speak. Mr. Gores has invested in the G League. He did mention that Alec Burks went down there to practice and get some reps. And I understand that. If you're a player that the G League is going to help, then yeah, send him down there and let him get some help in. Let him get some reps in so it can help his game. Then he said he had other players go down there. But the thing about it is, if you go down to the G League, go down there and dominate if you plan on playing in the NBA. Casey said, the one thing that I want Killian to do is play defense and move the ball, be a quarterback. He's a growing young man, and the more you make out of it, the more pressure it puts on his shoulders. He just has to play basketball. I don't think us as Piston fans care too much about the pressure that's on Killian's shoulders to perform. You in the NBA, you're taking a spot from somebody that may be able to perform in that same spot, coming off the bench as the number one point guard. There's no way you should be in a battle with Corey Joseph to come off the bench and play point guard first. We need a lot more out of you being the 7th pick. And Killian has I mean, you know, the preseason, he showed so much promise. He spoke about his confidence. He knows what he has to do. So all of us are sitting around like, do it then. So that's all I wanted to share. I mean, I'm not going to get into the Killian Hayes argument because my comment section will be blew up with Killian supporters, and I get it. Support the guy. If he's going to perform and play, I support him too. But we got to call it what it is. If it's a duck, it's a duck. If it's a bust, it's a bust. If it needs to be considered 3rd string as opposed to 2nd string, 2nd unit, then it is what it is. But Killian has to prove that he doesn't necessarily need everybody to speak well about him in order to play basketball. If you guys build my confidence up, I'll play basketball at a high level. You are in the NBA. Do your best and be as if all you here for is to play defense and that's all you got to bring to the table, then be as disruptive as you can on defense. And we've seen him shut down players like Trey Young. We've seen him shut down players. We've seen him be disruptive on defense, but do that all the time. Do that all the time. And whatever you're working on offensively, finishing at the rim, maybe a shot, you did some adjustments with your shot. I don't see where that's helped out too much. But let's see some progress that's significant. So I don't know what the Pistons are going to do. They just gave him some money to stay with the team. But I just don't know what the Pistons are going to do with him. Each game, it seems like his value is going down lower and lower. So his trade value is horrible. Trying to get rid of him. You may have to buy him out. That may be the only option you'll have with him. So anyway, that's all I wanted to share with everybody. Just a quick synopsis on Killian Hayes based on the article from Mike Curtis, from the Detroit News article that he put out. Pistons full roster available to practice for the first time this season. And one of the bullet points, one of the subtopics was about Killian Hayes' early season struggles. Wanted to share that with everybody. Once again, don't forget to check out the description. Check out the merch in the description. I'll receive a commission for that. That helps out the channel, supports the channel, keeps everything moving forward. So with that being said, this is your boy Flagrant Elbow. Everybody, stay safe.